Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video is one I had no intention of doing, like ever at all for any reason. Nope. But I got talked into it. Mike is a huge fan of Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know about huge. He's a fan of Ozzy Osbourne. He's a fan of a boatload of music and musicians and the whole thing. So when he told me that he thought I should get this, it was too cute not to do it. So this is what we're playing with today. It's the Rock&Roll Beauty and Ozzy Osbourne collab. This is what the entire palette looks like. He's a scary looking dude. I guess he was apparently just diagnosed with Parkinson's. If you want to see how I got this look and what I think of this palette, stick around and we'll get into it. So I grabbed this and I grabbed the highlight. Mike had requested that I grab the lipsticks as well, but they were out of stock when I was finally able to score the palette. So if you want to hear all about how this came to be and see how I got this look and what I think is a palette, we're gonna get right into it. I'm about to have a very naked face. Brace yourself. Okay, here we go. Obviously you've already seen the look, but right now in my time, it is just a thought. So I'm sure I showed you the palette already, and I'm going to try this out today and tell you just how this came to be in my makeup room. So I think I want to do a red and black look. I swatched these. So swatches don't tell you everything, but I'm interested to see how this plays out. So I think we're gonna start with the black because there are eyeshadow formulas that just don't build well. So you have to start with the darkest. And since I don't know anything about this eyeshadow formula, let's just err on the side of caution and go with the black. So I think I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 203. It's kind of a flat shader brush, but with like a bit of a fluffy end. So we're gonna go right into Black Rain and get that going on the inner and outer as soon as I get the creases out of my primer. Unsurprisingly, I primed my eyes with my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. And now we're going in with the black. From the looks of this palette, I think you could do, more neutral wearable looks, but it's an Ozzy Osbourne palette, so I kind of have to go a bit crazy, right? So that's the plan. Anyway, how this palette came to my possession. I'm just going to work on this black while I talk to you. So I knew this was being released. It was all over Instagram for the new makeup, pages that there are. And I didn't think anything of it. I had no intention of picking this palette up. And I was talking to Dallas, if you're new here, he's my oldest son, on the phone. And I got a notification saying that Mike tried to video chat me. Mike and I have been together for a long time. So we don't text or talk during the day. That's not something we do. Generally speaking, if he calls me, it's because, I don't know, his truck is on fire, or his truck is in a sinkhole, or something went wrong with the truck and he has to wait for someone to come and fix him or tow him or something. He delivers fuel. So we're talking about his fuel truck. Other than that, we don't chat during the day. So I, of course, panic. So I say, Bubblehead, I gotta let you go. I have to call Mike back and see what's wrong. And he's like, okay, no big. So I call Mike and he's like, hey, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And he says, I swear to God, did you know Ozzy Osbourne's makeup palette is released today? And I was just like, yes. And he said, did you get it? No. And he's like, well, why not? And I said, because it's from a brand that doesn't have great word of mouth. Like, not a lot of people are saying good things about this particular brand. And he was like, but it's Ozzy Osbourne. So I was like, all right, I'll send you a link to the stuff. Let me know what you think I should get. and I'll get it. He's like, okay. So I sent him the link and he picked this Bat palette and the lippies. Unfortunately, the palette was out of stock, so I couldn't get it, and I wasn't going to order the lippies just, you know, on their own. So I had to wait until this palette came back into stock. So the palette actually restocked fairly quickly. I was surprised. So I ordered it and now it's here. And that is how it came to be. I'm gonna go with Crazy Train. So Mike is 56. He has been a fan of Ozzy Osbourne for a long time, and he was just telling me that Ozzy was just diagnosed with Parkinson's, so that sucks. So here we are trying out Rock&Roll Beauty in the Ozzy collection. All right, I'm gonna go off camera real quick and do the other eye while I figure out what I wanna do with the rest of this look. Okay, I think I figured out what I want to do next. I think I'm going to take this shade right here called Terror, and I'm just going to lightly pat that over the red. I just feel like it needs a little something. I just feel like the other shimmery shades in here change the red too much to a pinky shade, and I don't want that. I just want a little something else on the red part. I think I'm fairly happy with how that's looking. I mean, it does look insane, but I really think once the rest of my face is done and I've got liner and lashes and all of that, I think we're gonna do all right. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm gonna go in with some pretty heavy black eyeliner. I'll probably just do black smoky on the lower lash line, and then I'll come back and we can play with the highlighter, which I was actually kind of excited to get. This was what I decided to choose instead of the lippies that I couldn't get because they were sold out. So, BRB. Okay, I'm back. The face is mostly done. Let's go in with this highlighter. It doesn't really have a name, it just says pressed highlighter. So, this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna use my Lunar Beauty LBF number 5 and see what we think of this. That's pretty nice. It's very like white, icy. But I think that's gonna look really, really good on the inner corner. Oh yeah. Just get a little over here, tip of my nose. Let me zoom you out, fix my hairs, and then I'll come back and we can talk about what I think of the palette and all the things. Weirdly, I'm not mad at this palette. Let's just have one final little look at the color story. The red is really good. The black is really good. I really like this metallic red shade right here. I mean, I was literally expecting badness, like no pigmentation. I expected it to just kind of blend away and be patchy. But the shades I used, I really have nothing negative to say. If you're a fan of Ozzy Osbourne and like a bit of a colorful neutral palette, I don't think you'd be sad to have this. Is it one I'm gonna reach for on the reg? Probably not, but I'm genuinely not upset that I let Mike talk me into getting it. So yeah, and as for this highlight, I'm not sure it's the best for my skin tone, for my cheekbones, but it's a really nice bright inner corner highlight, so I'm not mad about that either. I think that's it. I hope that you liked this video and, you know, enjoyed my experimenting with something I had no intention of ever picking up. The palette is still available, as is the highlighter, on Rock&Roll Beauty's website. Ulta has some stuff, but I couldn't find the palette, so And I guess there were two. There was this one and a coffin palette, which Mike did not insist I get, so I did not. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.